Already in one episode, Z was talking about affairs with a dog.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome back to What's for Today's latest episode. With me, I have the usual suspects. I am Zishan, and I have Nitin, Sean, and Rishi with
Hi
me,
guys.
and we're going to talk about something new today. Something that we all kind of something that we all enjoy thoroughly. Food.
Yes.
What our favorite foods are? What is our comfort food if we're not having a good day? And just generally what our preferences are. So I guess let's kick it off with we wanted to talk about one specific cuisine per person, but I don't know how that'll work out. So we'll just start with Nitin, since you're the nationalistic one with the Indian food. Let's start with you.
No, actually, I'm someone who enjoys like the proper Kerala food. Actually, like the sorted ones, all those things.
Wait, so when you're saying sorted ones, I think sorted ones or sorted ones? I think
Sorted.
it's sorted
Or,
ones.
Or salted
I mean,
one.
like no, like the traditional, like the sadhya type food. I love that actually.
Mm.
Oh, okay, assorted
The
ones.
assorted ones.
Okay,
Okay, okay.
so for the listeners who are there who don't know what the sadhya is, what is the sadhya?
Yeah, only you're supposed to say now what a sadhya is.
Oh, you're asking me what is sadhya? Okay.
Yeah, of course
Yeah.
you brought it up.
Who else? You brought it up, right?
You
Who
brought
would
it
ask
up.
that?
You're the Mallu food
I have
expert.
no idea what that is.
That's why
You
I
don't
said
know?
for the people who don't
Yeah,
know what
it's
sadhya
like
is, what is sadhya?
yeah. Sadhya is like something like we usually do it for celebrations, like Kerala celebrations, like Onam, Vishu, birthdays, or some kind of like family gatherings, all those things. And it consists of like rice, three type of curries, and seven types of side dishes. And you have the banana chips, and same thing like the what do I say, the banana and sugar coated pickles, then the ginger pickle, and then ending up with an payasam. So it's like very like a lot of quantity and thing. It's very filling and it's very tasty, like different spices, and so it's a different flavor to the mouth, and you can like just sit and enjoy it. Like each curry gives a different flavor.
Yeah. I've seen
So
actually pictures of it, but I've never been invited to one despite having so many Keralite friends. Thank you guys.
I know, shame
Appreciate
on
it.
you
You're
both.
most
Shame
welcome.
on you.
Shame on you guys. Yeah.
Not on
what
me
do you mean?
though.
Shimon, you both. There are three of us over here who are from Kerala.
Yeah, but I
See,
never
yes,
met
but
Zishan. I mean, I only used to meet Zishan for football. That was it.
yeah, football and
Yeah,
cricket, dude. But you
yeah,
guys,
that's
you
what.
two, disappointment.
So yeah, actually, so you know what? I've been talking about. Okay, so wait, so sadhya basically is eaten on a banana leaf,
Yes.
and then Nathan, correct me if I'm saying this wrong, but so there is a certain way of eating a sadhya, right? Like a certain direction to go. So your
Yeah.
banana leaf should be facing in certain direction.
It's certainly, yeah.
Your
So
banana leaf should be facing a certain direction when you're done with the food.
You need to fold it from the
Yeah,
top actually.
yeah. If you no, some places
no, from
they
the
say
bottom top.
yeah, some places say from
No,
bottom to
at
top
first
is good.
it's like
You enjoyed the food, and
yeah.
some feel it's the other way around.
So
That again
so
depends from
now
place to place.
exactly, yeah. So the thing is, okay, so Zishan looks confused over it. So the thing is, so when you once you finish eating the sadhya, right? So you have your basically your banana leaf is like completely clear. All you have is whatever waste is there. Like if you're eating the drumsticks, right? So you have the drumsticks, well, the
And
skin stuff.
The
wait,
fiber
Zishan,
stuff. Yeah.
by drumsticks also it's not the non-veg chicken drumsticks.
No. I know what
Yeah,
you're talking
the
about. Veggie
Yeah.
drumsticks.
Yeah, so whatever it's like, it's kept over. The husk of it is kept over there at the end of the banana leaf. So I learnt about this when I was in Chennai. So in Chennai, you had the non-veg sadhya. So wherein at least the thali, wherein you would be having so the sadhya basically is thali but on a leaf.
Mm.
Okay, so now in this, and there's a specific way of eating because I think you have to add dal, or you have to add ghee first and then put salt and then put I think sambar or dal, one of these things. Point
Yeah.
being that, yeah, so the point being that once you finish eating, there's a specific way to close the banana leaf. Okay, so from what I learned when I was in Chennai, and so the first time I had with friends, so we had a meal and we had a piece of chicken leg. So we finished everything. So what I did was, like what Nitin said, you close top down. Okay, so I started doing that, and my friend he just like snaps my hand. He's like, "That's the wrong way of doing it." So I'm like, "So how do you do it? So does it really matter as to how you're closing the banana leaf?" So he said it does because if you're closing it from top down, you're basically cutting off the connection between yourself and the person it's meant to, like the whatever waste is there, it goes to somebody, so they maybe a dead person or some soul or whatever it is. So it's basically the other realm of people who are their souls or stuff like that. So you're closing the connection to them, which is disrespectful. But if you're closing it from your side, it's just saying that you have done, you're done with the food. So if you want to eat, you can take from my plate. So to maintain the connection from their end, you're leaving it open. So I don't know what the Kerala version of top to down is, but from what I understood from my friend was bottom to top if you're closing. From your side you're done. The other side you're keeping the connection open so that if they want to continue eating, they continue eating. So this is what I had learned from them.
So I guess it varies. Like
It
what
does.
I've learned, yeah, like you close it from the top, it's like you keep getting it more satyas, and if you're closing it from down, it's like you're satisfied with the satya actually.
So this is somewhere in lines of the way
Yeah.
you arrange a spoon and fork after you finish eating.
Yeah,
it.
true.
No,
It's
the
kind of
crosswise or the left.
You can say.
But
Uh-huh.
one prank I like doing sadhyas is if suppose you go with a person who doesn't know what sadhya is, you tell them once you finish eating, you close the leaf and you eat the leaf as a sandwich.
But they do use a leaf though, right? They do use a leaf.
Yeah, some people do.
Yeah, because over here we have the tradition. So when Onam, after Onam gets over, so we have Onam Sadhya at home. So mom makes those things. So Z, the thing is with Onam is you need to have an odd number of dishes. I think it is 7, 11, oh, wait, 5, 7, 11, and then there's a jump, I think. So there's an odd number of dishes anyway. So uh, so when you're making, after you finish the entire thing, the leaves can be washed and reused. So if you have you had modak?
Yes.
Z, have you had modak? So it's basically so how do you explain modak to them?
It's
Kori
basically
kata,
a
right?
peda who went a bit, who got a bit stale, you could say.
No, not that modak, not that modak. I'm talking about
The
the kori kata.
dumpling?
Yeah, so it's basically, yeah, think of it as a
Okay,
very
yeah.
sweet.
Rice dumplings.
Yeah. So
I've
think of
never
it
had
as sweet. So
Okay.
the filling is jaggery and coconut and some other stuff in that,
Right.
and maybe cashew nuts if it's cooked, and then you make it sort of like a dumpling, but it's steamed using the same banana leaf used in autumn. So, but it's not round; it's flat. It's steamed in the banana leaf. I'm not talking about kori. I'm talking the other thing. I forgot what it's called.
Ada. The
Ada. Yeah. Ada. So I forgot what it's called. But yeah, so you use a banana leaf for that later on.
Korakata is a round one and Ada is a flat one, like you're telling.
Yeah, so korikata is what we call as korikata, is what these people over here call as modak.
Yeah, true. But Modak, the design is like kind of different, right?
It's more like it looks a lot like Hershey's Kisses.
Lotus flower type, but closed.
Yeah,
Like a
Hershey's
bud.
Kisses would be a more
Hershey's
appropriate,
Kisses.
I think, accurate thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I think so. Like from the South Indian version of thali, when you're transitioning to the Western version of thali. Z, what is your version of Gujarati thali? Because I've had
Literally
Gujarati.
called Gujarati thali. It's literally called Gujarati thali. But yeah, like it's very interesting. It's always served on like steel or copper plates. You usually have, I don't know, typically at least like 9-10 different types of like curries and vegetables. You have like rice, you have like small dal bati. There's like a bunch of stuff that they put on there, puris, rotis, whatever you ask for. And the key ingredient in all of them somehow is ghee. I don't know why. On each and everything you can throw ghee. So yeah, it's pretty interesting, pretty heavy. And traditionally, in thalis, usually there's a thing called undhyo, which is like made usually on the weekends or like of festivities and stuff like that. I'm talking about the vegetarian side of things for thali. So undhyo is literally like in Gujarati it means like upside down, undha in Hindi.
Okay.
And
Okay.
the story behind that is like usually they dump all these vegetables that they usually that are like region specific to Gujarat state
Mm.
as such. Like there's like sweet potato obviously, which everyone would know, but then there's like papdi, tuver, and like a couple of other different type of things. They even put like fried fritters, like something like pakoda, so it's called gatia.
Okay.
Actually, sorry, you guys are gonna laugh. It's called mutia. It's literally called mutia. It's made of methi,
Okay.
and it's fried like and like all these vegetables are just put in with the masala, and it's just put into like a clay pot as such, and there it's basically like sealed up pretty good, and then it's what do you say? It's buried under the ground. Like there's like a small fire type, like natural overnight.
Wait, so actually under the ground.
Actual underground, yeah, exactly. So it's basically made by like digging a ditch, putting like fire, like traditional style of like underground cooking, and then they'll throw the not throw, but like they'll put the earthen pot or like matka underneath that. They'll cover it, seal it up pretty good, and then after like a few hours they'll come back to it. Usually like that's how undhyo is made. So that's like one of the high delicacies, and it's like had with puris and stuff like that. So like
Generally,
just-
how long does it take to make?
I've never made it, so I can't tell
Because
really,
your
but I
entire
think like
process sounds very long.
it's long. So yeah, it usually is like a slow cook recipe. So I would say like anywhere between 6 to 8 hours, probably a good estimate from start to finish.
So they have to make it beforehand at certain period, which is why they make it specific in the weekend.
Yeah, that's why it's like or on festivals or things like that.
But it's completely veg, right?
Yeah, it's completely veg.
So what is the use?
My experience.
I wait so
No,
long.
but actually, Rishi, the thing is
Yeah.
what? Na? So, like, so when you're talking about the Gujarati thali, so a couple of friends of mine, we drove down to Gujarat. We had some work there, so we were staying in a hotel. And the thing is, in majority of the Gujarati food that you would eat, it's quite sweet actually.
Yeah,
I mean, I think like what Z was saying, that the most common component of most Gujarati food is ghee. Yeah. So, but the thing is, like when you taste the food, it is quite sweet. And now being South Indian, especially Kerala, we love a little bit of spice. So for the guy who I went with, so we both were like, bro, we need something spicy. At least asking for achar. So that achar, the pickle that was there, that was the only spicy thing in the entire meal. And we asked for a dal tadka, which in most of the cases would end up being a little bit spicy. It was not spicy. It was so sweet. I was
yeah.
like,
They
okay.
usually throw good, and I don't know why. In certain regions, they usually have that. Like especially my relatives who are from Junagadh, right? Like in the western part of Gujarat, they usually have everything. Even any sabzi you give them, like bhindi or whatever, they'll put good and they'll cook it. So always there's like a sweet taste lingering on there. I don't know why, and that's
Okay,
why
so
all of
for
us like have diabetes most of the time in Gujarat.
Okay, so for the listeners who are there, good is jaggery, bhindi is lady finger or okra, and what else you can say? I think that's it. Sabzi is vegetable.
Yeah.
So sabzi is vegetable. So then going ahead.
But yeah, but that's the veg stuff. Yeah, I'm sure there's different non-veg.
Yeah, I mean your okay. Wait 1 second. So Gujarati Muslims. So what is your specialty in terms of food? Apart
How
from
do you
biryani?
celebrate Eid?
Biryani, dude. It has to be biryani. A
But then
good
again,
lamb biryani.
But then again, veg biryani is not biryani, bro. It's pulao.
It's pulao.
No, yeah, it's pulao exactly. Yeah, like every time, like I grew up in the Middle East, so like every time
Every
there
time you
was.
go to the Middle East. So when
mean,
one
like,
time you eat in
Arey
he-
bhai. I mean, like
Yeah,
I grew up in Middle
Meaning
East.
for a Muslim guy, he believes in reincarnation over here.
Next time, I hope not to be a goat.
Oh god.
But yeah, usually it would be like wake up on the day of Eid for like morning
goat.
prayers, then go
The whole
to
year you'll only wake up for Eid.
no
Yeah.
bhai. On time for morning prayer.
He
Usually
was the
I'm always-
Kumkaran, he is the Kumkaran of Abu Dhabi.
That would be me.
So other days you don't get a morning over for prayer.
Let's keep that on the down low. Um, but yeah, like so yeah, those are my memories. Like waking up in the morning on time for once for like morning prayer, and then going with parents, like with dad and my brother to the mosque. And then after we are coming back, like usually we'll just have like breakfast. And traditionally, ironically for us, the breakfast on Eid was always like masala dosa from like Mallu cafeteria. I don't know
Okay.
why. It was always that for us. And then we'd go and take a nap. Mom would continue cooking right up till like 12 or so. And that fresh first dum biryani that you would make. I don't know how to describe that. That feeling, it's only to be experienced.
Experience.
So, but
Yeah,
luckily for us, since we were born and brought up here, we know that feeling. When you're
yeah.
born and brought up
No,
here,
but then
we
that
know that.
varies, right? But that varies. See, the thing, when you're making biryani at home and you're buying biryani from our, it has a huge difference in that.
No, no, at
And
home, for me, also, I'm talking about home only because my mom used to make amazing biryani, and again, we all have Muslim friends who have given us homemade biryani, so we know how it is. We know how amazing it is compared to a
But
restaurant biryani, which is more
yeah,
processed and
yes.
yeah,
which is made
oily,
in
oily.
yeah.
But you know what's the one best part about biryani is that uh, every house has a different, set of ingredients or way of cooking for biryani. But no matter whichever house with different way of cooking the biryani you go, any house that biryani will taste amazing,
No, wait. I
irrespective.
disagree. I disagree. Uh,
Okay.
eh, if it is a veg biryani, it is going to be a crap.
No, I'm talking non-veg. I'm talking pure. Like we said
Yes,
before, veg biryani is not counted. It's called pulao.
it's called pulao.
Yeah,
Yes.
at the most it's called what mixed fried rice, I think, but nothing more than that. But
No. Don't itself fried rice also. Will itself pulao.
okay, fine. Let's stick to pulao then. But even like we're sticking to non-veg biryani, but whether it's chicken or mutton, whatever. But the point being that irrespective of whichever house you get into, right, you would never diss biryani. Like
Yeah, never.
never. That I think that's one food item hands down. Anybody who has stayed in the Middle East or even who has been exposed to the flavor of biryani will never diss it. So that's one thing. So wait, so we've spoken about the Kerala food. We've spoken about Gujarat, thali and food. Rishi, what's your cuisine?
My cuisine actually anything that is non-veg I like. Whether it is food or jokes, I prefer non-veg.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, uh, see, for me, I like the local food. I like Arabic food. I love Chinese food. I don't know why Chinese food I can have 7 days a week. I mean, but Chinese also the Indian Chinese, not the regular Chinese food,
Yeah.
because that is very bland. I mean, Indian Chinese food is what our usual chili chicken, our chicken Manchurian. I mean, it has all the
It's fine.
Chinese names, but when you eat it, it's something completely different. I went to a Chinese restaurant once, an authentic Chinese cuisine restaurant, and there was like chicken and chili oil and all that. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll order that because that was the only thing which looked spicy. As per the menu, they're like, it's very spicy, don't underestimate the spice. I'm like, okay, fine, let's have it. It was basically a boiled chicken which got little lightly fried, and it was just covered in sesame chili oil. That's it.
Yeah,
And
that's how it is. Yeah.
there's literally not much taste in it. And I mean, I just took it home, and mom was like, you know what I'll do? I'll just fry it. I'll put some masala and make it sandwich for you tomorrow.
So
I find it
basically, you
touch-
bought a marinated
That-
chicken from the restaurant.
Yeah,
Uh,
basically, it ended up being like that.
That reminds me of the time my friends and I went to like a Chinese restaurant here in Toronto. Like it was basically like a halal Chinese place, and they were supposed to represent like the Muslim northwest of China region. So we ordered like, I don't know what it was also, like we ordered like their versions of like kebabs, like the chunks wala jo hota hai, lamb ka jo chunks hota hai, like lamb tikka, chicken that with chili, like and like Rishi thought, right, like we were like probably Chinese food is going to be bland, so we like, let's order the spicy one. This chicken and noodle recipe, right, I think 1/3 of it was literally like dried red chilies, like those Kashmiri degi chilies that you see. It was literally that dry stuff just thrown in on top. So it was very weird. And next day, like stomach was like upset,
You
like
want
anything.
spicy anyways.
There was no spice also. It was not very spicy, but it was like just very weird tasting. Stomach went bad also next day.
So with Rishi, so all four of us have been we were in the UAE for a very long time. So what is the one thing, okay, apart from shawarmas, what is the one thing which you think all four would relate to in terms of the UAE cuisine?
I think kebabs, mixtures and kebabs.
Yeah, mixed and kebabs. That's the best food here actually.
You
I
could
can
even go
top-
with the grilled chicken. Again, grilled
I
chicken.
can top that. I will still top that.
If you
Mandi.
say falafels, I'm going to come and slap you.
No. You know what it is? Early morning Malabar paratha, the Kerala paratha.
Oh
I
yes,
had that
man.
yesterday.
OG.
But then you get that in Mumbai also. You get
No,
that in India
not
and
the
Kerala.
way, not
It's not the same,
Kerala,
dude,
yeah,
not the
but-
same parota.
yeah, but it's
No.
more like you get that the dedication and the sweat and the taste of like the UAE hard work that you get. Like I'm bringing the taste of India over here. It should work out better. Whereas in India, it is like this is my everyday meal.
No,
You
but
know, so-
I was staying in Pune in 2016 for like a few months, and there's actually a Kerala restaurant. The owner is Malayali, and he's actually bought people from Kerala, and they are serving proper the parota. What you get here, exactly you get over there.
Yeah, but that's my thing. Right? So in India, when you're making Indian food in India, it's everyday food. But when you go to an exotic place, not exotic, when you go to a place abroad and you make Indian dishes there, that food is exotic.
Exotic, but not necessarily always authentic.
Yeah, I mean,
True, but it's like you're bringing the flavor of India, you're tasting home in a place abroad. Like, see,
but
Yeah,
it's not.
I remember.
It's
yeah.
not necessary about that because one thing I've noticed is here UAE especially they somehow manage to bring the cultures together for the food also. The worst ever butter chicken I've ever had is in France, is in Paris, and you'll be wondering why the hell am I going to Paris to have butter chicken?
yeah,
The tour guide, so the touring company, they took us for this Europe trip, and obviously since you have a lot of Indian people, they want to have Indian food in Europe, and we know
was
that.
this with your friend and his ex-wife?
No, this was in 2014 with my family. I went.
For more information, watch our Valentine's Day podcast or listen to our Valentine's Day podcast.
So yeah, but we had butter chicken over there, and I mean that is easily the second best Indian dish ever. And how do you manage to screw up butter chicken?
Very easy.
Not adding butter.
Go to a Pakistani restaurant and you'll have the answer there.
But Pakistani
Oh,
butter
shots
chicken
fired,
is
shots fired,
different.
shots fired.
But Pakistani dishes are
You're in
different. Their ideas are different for food. I mean, for butter chicken again, Pakistani and I think to an extent Delhi butter chicken is more sweet, while they rely more on the sweeter side. While the Mumbai side or the other sides, they put a little bit of spice, a little bit of cinnamon, saffron. They use that and just change the texture and the taste of it.
We have a lot of cream in
Main
it.
thing in butter chicken is like cashew
Butter and
paste.
chicken.
No, cashew paste.
Cashew
with-
paste cream.
Yeah, cashew
cream.
paste and cream, and that's like north proper Delhi side style of butter chicken. I don't know what people in Maharashtra are doing. They're just doing blasphemy with butter chicken.
No, you have
Maharashtra, we
You
have
have-
Sean. He's put a Maharashtrian cuisine.
okay. So Maharashtrian cuisine. The thing with Maharashtrian cuisine is that it's basically all over the place because so there is this trend here in Mumbai where you can get food for $10 all the way to $1,000 and above. So the $10
Wait.
which I'm talking about,
When you say $10 is 10 rupees or
10 rupees. I'm sorry, yeah, 10 rupees.
oh, wow, okay, that's
Yeah,
cheap.
just your vada pav. Yeah, your vada pav. 10 rupees, I think, would be in some places would be 8 rupees. I think if you had 10 rupees, 12 rupees in that range. So you'd have vada pav. You would have samosa pav or vada pav basically. So you have what mashed potatoes put in with turmeric and put in the basin, thing and put it within the pav bread. You have samosa pav. You have vada pav. You have something called a misal pav. Misal pav is basically
The spicy
a
version.
lot. No, it's a lot of oil. It's a lot of oil
It's
which they
a
call gravy.
curry version, no? Misal
Yeah,
is
but
like-
but you don't see curry anywhere in that. It's just like a lot of you know what you eat for mixture, right? You have the save in mixture.
yeah.
Yeah, so you
Favorite I
basically
know.
have so you basically have a lot of that floating in oil. Okay, and there is so much oil that it's a surprise that US is not invading that particular plate. It's
Yeah.
just oil and a little bit of masala just for the taste of it. But people just like they dive and get into that. It's very tasty, but you'll end up having cholesterol. Like it's horrible cholesterol. Any of these foods you eat for that matter, you'd have bad cholesterol. If you're having a bad stomach, if you have a very weak stomach, this might not be the appetite or cuisine for you. Then you can also range to, for instance, most of it we're talking about thalis. So Maharashtra also has like different segregations. You have Malwan thali. You also have one more type of cuisine is there. So Malwan is more along the lines of your the interior sides of of Maharashtra. So you have the more fishery side. So the fish in Maharashtrian food is the main component. So you have a lot of variations of the fish. So I think your basa fish is there, which the way they fry the fish is very different. They have, I think, some. I think they fry it with rice batter or something like that, but it's very tasty. So, like what I think Z had mentioned with copper plates in the thali, you have that. So you have Malwan tadka where you have a lot of dishes, and so you have chapati and it's called fulka. So fulka is a little different from chapati. It's almost the same thing, but it's a lot more lighter. So that's there. And yeah, you have a lot of other cuisines. Specifically, you have Malwan and you also have Agri food, which is again purely in fish. So that's a whole range of it. So yeah, I would like to bring one thing up when Z was talking about different foods that we all have had, and when Rishi brought up the food that we've all had in UAE. So there's one thing which there's an incident that happened with Nitin, Z, and myself, and one more friend of ours. The friend I think he mentioned in this podcast. It's Tawheed. So Nitin, Z, Tawheed, and I. So what had happened was Z and I were going running in the morning in municipality for.
Yeah, ironic. I know. I'm still like
I,
this.
so we used to run in the morning, like jogging or whatever. And now the thing is, the idea or the intention behind this so-called jog in the morning was to become more healthier. The moment we finished our jog, so I was on vacation and Z was the guy who was having the vehicle, like he was in drive. So we would I think we would rush to either Mary Brown's or to McDonald's, and we would just stuff our faces with it. So
We did that only like 2 times, man. Dude, you're
No.
making it sound worse than it was.
no, we did quite regularly, dude. Either it was that or it was Zaatar. Or Zaatar is another thing which is there.
Oh, dude, Zaatar is amazing. Early morning.
So, but one of these days, what happened was that Z and I said, okay, we'll do one thing. We'll go kidnap Nitin and Tawheed.
Tawheed.
And we kidnapped them and we went to one place which was, I think it was Afghani food.
No, it was Pakistani food.
No,
Yeah, that
Pakistani, dude. Paya,
Well,
halwa
Pakistan-
puri and all that.
Paya,
Yeah, and I ended up buying paya. I didn't know what paya was. So for the uninitiated, can anyone explain what paya is?
I
I
still
don't
don't know.
know.
I had it that
Paya
day.
is,
but I'm not sure.
paya is basically soup made out of the hooves of the goat, right? Of the mutton.
Yeah. Correct.
I didn't know that. And I was,
So
what
this
is
is
this?
the mutton head actually.
No.
not
It's
head.
just the feet.
It's just the feet.
Yeah, so the remaining guys, Tawheed, Z, and Nitin ended up buying food which was fit for humans. And I was like, okay, this looks interesting, and I bought that. And when the plate came, so anyhow, since this is going into the explicit band, it looked like a reproductive organ. Let's just leave it at that. And
Someone was like, "अरे ये तो मेरा है."
so I saw that and I was like, "Wait, how am I supposed to eat this and not look, suggestive?" So I just ended up drinking the super mood out from it. But that was a very weird, thing, incident. But this something similar to this happened when Dan and I went to Bangalore. So in Bangalore, we ended up buying something called as Ran Biryani.
Oh,
No,
dude.
run.
Ran, yeah. Leg piece of the lamb.
Yeah. So the guy in Bangalore, the waiter who was there with us, he didn't pronounce Ran properly. He was saying ram biryani. So we were thinking what it's like ram. Because in the menu also it is written as RANN. So we thought they misspelled RAM as RANN. Split the M. This is not funny. I mean, it is horrible because we ended up buying Ram Biryani and it was just dad and myself. Dude, an entire plate. The waiter continuously asking in Hindi because we don't know Kannada, so we were just like managing in Hindi and in English. So we said we want Ram Biryani and then this is for two people, so full plate. Dad hogs, I hog. And the waiter comes in and he's like, two people? I said, yeah. Too much. Like, no, we'll eat, you bring. This bugger brings an entire plate, bro, an entire plate. And when I'm saying entire plate, I couldn't finish it. It was so huge. And it's like an entire lamb leg, okay, in the middle of the biryani. And the rice is just like swamped all over it. And people are just staring at us because it's just two of us and this one full plate getting busy. Dad looks at it, I look at him, and we both burst out laughing. We were like, okay, there's no way on earth we're going to finish this entire thing because we had to be back in the hotel, I think, the next like half an hour, 40 minutes. And this whole plate, and we just started like digging and like diving in and eating. Even with my stomach empty, I couldn't finish that plate even halfway. It was that bad, and I'm the person who hogs. So, certain cases when the waiter says too much, you should probably listen to him and not take the risk of saying that.
Always listen to your waiters, and actually, even some people don't do this, but you should always treat them with respect.
Always.
You treat them with respect, obviously. You treat them with respect, but the thing is,
Yeah.
when you are overconfident with the fact that, dude, I can like down Subway burgers or Subway sandwiches and like burgers, like no problem. And when so with that confidence, when you say like biryani, no problem, bring it on. I mean, so it's like I can down no problem. You can see the happiness in his face. You know, he's like, hey, I told you, you are not going to finish this, and you guys want to just be overconfident. Fine, finish it off. We had to pack the entire thing, bro. It literally took at least, I think, 4 of those aluminium boxes to fill up. It was that huge, and we were going crazy eating it the next few days.
What is your guys like favorite food group, like fast food or homemade food or like healthy diet? What do you guys prefer the most?
I think it depends on how guilty you are.
For me, it's anything non-veg.
But doesn't really matter though. I mean, at that point of time, it doesn't. Like, whatever is there in the plate, you end up eating.
Yeah.
I think the most obvious. I think the question that should be asked would be, what would you not eat, as opposed to what would you eat? Because we are all 4 of the people who just eat anything inside. So what would you not eat?
Fast food. For me, I avoid fast food.
Now,
Yeah, but there
Yeah,
was a
it's
time
like
like you used to eat more than us.
Yeah, I know.
yeah, listen, you and I have had competitions for eating.
You remember how I used to like when you came from India and you got the sweets, right? You remember how I used to eat, right? When you used to get it for 1 tip and all.
Which sweets? But yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Laddu, I remember. From Laddu story, I remember.
Yeah, 1 liter like clubbed.
Nitin, you and I have had, I think Z was involved in this, but we used to have those shawarma competitions. We used to like,
Oh yeah.
like down
Dude,
shawarma.
I was telling my brother this like just 3-4 days ago. I was like, oh man, I just remember I have this very nice memory of us eating shawarma. We're like after I think tuitions or like we're playing
tuition.
cricket or something,
Tuitions.
something like that. And then Sean is like, cholo, let's eat shawarma. And then we're like, okay, all of us just ordered 2. It was after National Day celebrations. Now I remember. So we were walking back all the way from Breakwaters area after fireworks and everything, and then we're like, oh, we have to have shawarma on the way back. So each of us orders 2, and then after we finish the 2 also, Sean is like, I could do some more. Let's order some more. And Lucky and I were like, oh, chalo, let's do it. So I ordered 1 more, and I was like, no, bro, I can't do this anymore. And Lucky and these guys were just eating 2 more.
But shawarma is an emotion.
That comes under comfort food for me. Like, you know, like if you're in a bad state of mind or something, that is the place you go to. So what is your comfort food? I mean, what would you go for?
For me, it would be shawarma, maybe Chinese, but more likely if I get shawarma, I'll be happy with that.
Okay, so I'm removing shawarma, pizza, and okay, I'm removing these two from the table. So yeah, I'm removing shawarma and burgers. So shawarma, burgers, and pizza is off the table. Are off the table.
You're removing comfort foods themselves, and you're asking
Yes.
us what else we can replace them with.
Yes, because I'm removing the comfort zone. I'm removing the comfort zone for you. I'm moving you out of the comfort zone.
Okay,
So
then
apart
also
from
I
this
still
whole,
have. Then also I still have. I would still go with the fried rice and chili chicken combo, something like that. Maybe
Oh,
like a
okay.
chicken. Yeah, I would go with the fried rice and the gravy. So I would be happy with that.
Fried
I would
rice and
even go
gravy.
with the biryani also.
I should have taken that off the table.
I know. You think I would find
Wait.
loopholes?
Okay, Nitin, what is your comfort? Okay, okay. So for you, I'm taking biryani off the table. So biryani off the table, pizza off the table, burger off the table, and what is the fourth one?
Shawarma.
Say,
How
Shawarma.
can you
You took
forget
out-
shawarma?
you took out everything I'm not having for the past 2 years. It's fine for me.
That's why you have no
Okay,
comfort.
so from the no, which is that currently he's in too much of comfort because he can't get comfort food, so he's getting comfort in the bed, as in by sleeping.
Uh-huh. What kind of
Kiski
How do
baho
you
mein?
know?
In whose arms?
So, Nitin, what is your comfort food when you're being on a healthy diet?
I do prefer like the kebabs with hummus.
Now
Wait, you're on
Sean
a
will
healthy
say he
diet.
removes that also.
No. I'm keeping that. That's fine. That's fine.
He's playing elimination out over here.
Yes.
No, because see, when you ask for comfort food, right? These are the things which are like the most like on the top. You have like pizza would be on the top, like burgers.
Wow,
there.
that's the comfort food.
So yeah, but then you can't
No
you can't
one-
have that as a common
No
answer.
one is going to tell you right now. I eat snake skin tacos as a comfort food.
You never know. I mean, okay, see, for example, like the most okay,
Oh, this
I'm
might
sure-
be controversial. I do prefer having the deer meat.
okay, but Nitin, when did you have deer meat? Where did you have deer meat? Wait,
Hey,
you're
after
talking
that, you get the meat.
venison
Yeah,
meat. Where do you get?
Good venison meat, yeah, but I've never had it.
Like it is good actually. Yeah, it is. It's more like a mutton.
For the listeners, if they were going to find venison meat in Abu Dhabi or Dubai,
Everywhere you get it. All
In
of
Abu
you-
Dhabi, you'll get it for
so
sure in Dubai.
what is the recommended food then? What is the recommended dish you would go for?
I don't know because I never went and purchased it actually because I got it prepared actually.
No, fine. So like okay, if I'm going to say what is the recommended dish you would eat with chicken, so butter chicken. So I mean in that kind of way. So if what did you buy when you prepared it? Or did you
I
make
got
it?
it like no, I got like it's like a homemade. I got it like a mixed gravy kind of thing, semi gravy.
Oh, okay. Are you talking about the thing which is like already like pre-made and kept, you just have to go out and warm it up? Warm it up. Are you talking about
Yeah,
those
just
in
need-
plastic containers?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
You used to get it in Emirates, I think. Emirates or in, I mean, not venison meat, but I'm talking about those chicken already, those pre-made curries and stuff. You would have it in, I think, Emirates
But this
market and
time-
stuff.
I got it from my dad's friend. He brought the meat and he prepared it actually.
Oh, okay.
John, what's your this one? Comfort food barring pizza, burger, shawarma, sandwiches, chips,
Coconut.
cookies, coconuts, then shawarma, biryani, chicken, mutton, beef.
You removed everything. Dude, what the hell?
You're the one doing the same thing to us.
Why you removed the most common one, bro? Like burger and those, like burger.
So
pizza
you also
and-
for the
comfort food. Yeah. My comfort food would be jeera rice with butter chicken.
How about you, Z?
Well, I might have a few. few also.
He's like, food is the only comfort I get in life.
That's the only comfort I get. The warm, fuzzy feeling from eating a masala dosa.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, for me, masala dosa or something home cooked, my favorite home cooked item is like khichdi and chutney, like a tomato chutney with like khichdi and like having like dahi bundi, which is like curd and like the small fried bundi fritters, right? You get that
Mhm.
with some masala and stuff. So like that's my favorite combo. And when my mom was visiting here, I asked her to make something very good but unhealthy. It's called shira. It's basically what you give to people when they are having a cold or something. And I asked my mom, "Can you make it?" Because I was like, "Bachpan ki yaad aa rahi, like just make it." She's like, "Do you even have cold?" I'm like, "No." Okay. She made it, she made it like almost every fourth day or fifth day. And yeah, I gained some weight because it uses like atta and ghee and sugar and lot of all the nice stuff that's not good for you.
So, since like we have been like experienced different cuisines and things, I would like you guys to rate the best top three foods you have had actually, like in Arabic, Indian, like I mean, I would say like Arabic, South Indian, North Indian, like that.
Listen, I'm sorry. Before we get into the rating, I need to speak of one particular cuisine,
Okay.
which comes in Maharashtra itself. But I'm 100% sure that even though you guys love spice, you will never eat this.
Kolhapuri.
Kolhapuri and Aurangabad food. In
Hearing it
Aurangabad, so any Kolhapuri food that you have, right? So like how in major components of butter chicken is the chicken or the cream, right? For them, in any dish, the component is chili. It's so spicy, dude. We try to eat. We had gone there. We had so me and a couple of my colleagues, we had gone there for an examination, and so we had to stay. I think a couple of days over there for us to finish the exam and everything. And the food over there, we figured it would be spicy. We didn't know that spicy. We said, let's try the spice and see. We ordered butter chicken. Oh my god, we could not finish. We barely ate. I think half the plate of rice. It was so spicy. To cool the spice, we ended up buying plain dal, the rice and plain dal. Okay, the dal was super spicy, and dal is something we eat, which is like not too spicy, is sufficient enough, not too spicy. To cool all that down, we had down to ice cream just to cool
Yeah.
it further.
Vanilla ice cream works best for like
Yeah.
spicy food.
Milk also. Panni milk is very good for spicy food.
Cool. I think that was one thing. So anybody who wants to try spicy food, I would suggest to take a risk with Kolhapuri food and any food from Aurangabad. I'm not saying it's bad taste; it's good taste, but it's too spicy.
But yeah, I mean, it reminds me of one noodles that I made once. So you get these Korean noodles here in the market
Oh
now.
my god. Yeah.
So when I cooked it, I made it with bacon and sausages and stuff, and it was tasting amazing. But it was bloody spicy. I mean, you're literally
What?
crying and eating.
You can
Do
edit
you
this.
get all the Indian food, everything in Canada?
Yeah, there's a lot of it now. I wouldn't say that's why when Sean said like whenever it's like foreign food, it's exotic and everything, but it's not always authentic. So that's what I found lacking. And I'll because one day my friend and I and my brother, we all three were like craving that proper Kerala cafeteria, like Mallu cafeteria type porota, and we went to like a place over here.
She's not been seeing. It's been. Don't think. Keep it in front of your t-shirt.
Spicy.
It looks spicy. Even the cover looks spicy.
It's 2 times spicy, and this is 20 times spicy. The one I bought was the 6 times spicy. Oh my god! And
So you like torturing yourself.
No, I didn't know. So it was called the volcano flavor and all that. I'm like, okay, must be some dialogue by the. It's called volcano. The spice is called volcano. And the gravy and the sauce is black. Okay.
Oh god.
It's ultra spicy. And next day when you go to the toilet, you will be seeing red color in the bowl
Oh
because of the spice. It tastes amazing.
Are you sure
Would you
it
get
was
some-
just spice, not blood?
Oh no, that's what I meant. You jackass.
Okay, that's staying in. That is staying in. Okay, so Nitin, you were asking about the ranking, right? So,
Right.
since you're going with the noodles, what's your ranking?
What's your rank? Like, we have different type of food, everything. So, which is your the top order? You will like according to your comfort zone.
I mean, rank wise, okay, if we're going Indian, are we going Indian, the whole Indian cuisine, or now only part of India?
It's up to you actually. Any three you can choose.
But in Indian cuisine, you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Anything. Well, like see, we have been in India. We have been in UAE. We have tried different types of foods like Italian, Chinese, Indian, Arabic. So we can decide, right? What do we feel like our top three foods are?
See, top 3 foods, if I go, I'll not get anything because almost every, like, You have your pizzas, you have your burgers, you have your pastas. I mean, in Indian itself, you have to divide into the different regions because again, you have a parota and beef curry on one side, and you
Mm.
have your butter chicken and butter naan on another side, and you can't say which is better. It's on your mood.
But see,
I can
that's
say,
the thing, right?
like in that situation, I'll say like if you give me like the parota beef or something like garlic naan, I would automatically go for the garlic naan because that's my all-time favorite in
Yeah, that's
rotis.
your person.
No, but then that depends on your exposure to the food. Now, for example, now if you have not had the aloo paratha straight from the oven in Chandigarh or in Amritsar, then if you haven't had that, then you would not opt for it.
Again, your
Now the
makai di
same
roti and sarson da saag. That also.
exactly. Now at the same time, let me just bring this also up. If you are in Dalhousie or Manali or in any of the north side, especially when it's snowing, uh, like tea, okay, fine. But at that point of time, in the snow, in the cold over there, if you're gonna have Maggie noodles, okay, or if you're gonna have even hot momos, like we've had this. So when we took the students for their international, for the industrial visit, sorry, industrial visit to Chandigarh, Amritsar, Manali, that chain. So we had to cross. We went to Manali, and the students were left to go play and stuff. Play in the sense they could go play in snow. And so what I did was started exploring around. So in the snow, you're like it's quite cold, obviously. So you're having your hands in the gloves and everything. Right? So just imagine going to a restaurant, which is basically just like one room. Okay, it's like a shack sort of a thing, but it's just one thing. And this guy has like made steamed momos. Okay, it's so cold over there, and I'm a person who's very delicate when it comes to hot stuff. Like hot plate or hot cup of tea, I don't like touching them. I just like wait for it to become ice cold and then bring it out. Dude, this guy, he just picks the momos off the steam plate and he puts it back into our paper plates. Okay, I don't wait. I just take it and I just down it in, and it was so cold that warm momos was amazing. If you're gonna have momos at home, whether you're making it at home or whether you're ordering from out, right? That doesn't, stand a chance against having momos in freezing cold. So I think like what Rishi was saying, right? It depends on which region you are and how exposed are you to different cuisines. Like, see, you don't know about the spice in Kolhapur. Same way Aurangabad or like Z would not know the Kerala cuisine. For example, he didn't know about the sadhya. So the
See,
wedding
that's what
sadhya, yeah.
from their view, that's what I want to know.
But we have so much variety now, man. Like now, for example, today itself, tonight, I actually had Sri Lankan food, and it's not like I'm having for the first time. I've been having Sri Lankan food regularly. And in UAE itself, you get different cuisines. You get a Korean food, you get a Japanese food. So you can't make a top three because it's again on your mood on the day. Like today, I'm in the mood for Sri Lankan food. I'll have Sri Lankan food, but tomorrow I might have Chinese, or tomorrow I'll have pizza. I mean, yesterday I had pizza. Yesterday night I had pizza for dinner, and then today afternoon again I bought pizza and I had that for lunch. So it's on your mood, man. But I can go easily for 2 months without pizza. It's not my favorite food or anything.
Okay, so then I think to make Nitin's criteria much more simpler, which are the three foods that you would love to have on a regular basis without spoiling the taste of it?
Yeah.
Shawarma, biryani, and I think I'll go with a grilled chicken.
Okay. Which is
How
why
about
I
this?
removed pizza and burger and shawarma because those are the most common answers we all have. Which is why I removed them
I
off the
mean,
table.
because those are things which only an idiot would ruin. I mean, you can't mess up a biryani or a shawarma. I mean,
There are
but if you're
hundreds
going
of
to
ways to
eat,
do that.
no, but if you're
I
going
mean,
to eat
Actually,
yeah,
your
but
there are
favorite food
restaurants that
daily,
spoil biryanis.
no, but again, your shawarmas, I know we can't get it good in India because they don't have the bread over there. They have not understood the concept of shawarma. In India, in Mumbai especially,
South Kerala, you get the good shawarmas right now because they
yeah,
have the full caboose is there right now.
yeah,
Nitin,
because Kerala,
is this next to a sari shop or something? Near the there's a sari shop or a gold shop somewhere nearby. Because my cousin took me there.
Your cousin took you there, or you're going to buy dowry or something for your
No, no,
future
no, no,
wife?
You're buying,
no. I remember because there was this whole the chicken, like what is the grilled chicken, the rotisserie chicken. The entire Kerala, the entire UAE setup was there. So
It's,
the whole
a lot of people who have come left from here and who have gone to India or who have gone to Kerala have started making all the shawarmas and all
Yeah.
over there.
yeah. So that's
You can say
when
Arabic style chains are the chicken mandi, everything there.
Everything is good over there now.
so that's when you mentioned in Kerala. Because I remember my cousin. So when we went to meet my uncle, so that time my cousin was. We all went and we bought this entire full chicken, but bloody oily, bloody oily. Okay, so you're saying grilled chicken shawarma?
There's another thing, even the grilled chicken, they use that masala a lot actually in India, in Kerala actually.
Yeah.
The spice level is too high compared to here.
Okay, so that's the reason behind. That's the reason behind that. No, see the thing is, my friend has a restaurant, right? So now his, the chef who is there. So the chef and I we end up talking a lot because in terms of cooking, like like, so I have this issue. How do I get rid of it? So he has this common complaint that any of the Western or the continental food that is there, right? For the type of people who are having the food over here, the location where I am, they need it to be having either chaat masala or it has to have some sort of masala in that for it to have some flavor for them to relate to it. Like, see how we are saying the Chinese food for us is bland. For Chinese people, it's not bland. For them, that is flavor. For us, we need a kick in it. Maybe it's a kick of spice, kick of sweetness, or whatever it is. But we require the sort of a extra tinge to it. So, which is why if you see majority of the Indianized food which you have brought from abroad, whether it's grilled chicken, whether it's shawarma, whether it is pizza also. In pizza, you're having those tandoori pizza, chicken tikka pizzas and everything, which has the tandoori gravy in it. So you have Indianized a lot of it to match the Indian taste buds. So which is, I mean, you can't blame them. They have to run the chain, so it has to be Indianized to match the taste buds, as I was saying. So if it comes down to it, the Lebanese shawarma is one thing which I think we all go for. The original shawarma, I think.
So Sean, what are your choices?
Top three,
Tina, Sonia, and who?
a little bit of Monica in my mind. A little bit.
Monica, Rachel, Phoebe.
top three food for me would be okay. So not counting burgers, not counting the things which I put on the table.
There's no exclusion list. It's up to you actually.
No, for me, I'm excluding that because if I'm going to count that, it's all going to be the same for all of us. So I would. Okay, so here's the thing. I love the Malwan thali. I don't eat fish, but the way they cook the fish over here is amazing. Okay, so Malwan thali is one thing which I would love. Second thing would be like what Rishi was saying, the Indian Chinese. So there's one specific dish called the triple Szechuan rice.
Triple Szechuan rice.
Yeah, so that's basically fried rice and noodles and egg and everything mixed in the same thing. So that and then probably I would go for maybe aloo paratha. Oh wait, switch off the triple Szechuan, something called as puran poli.
Oh, that's good.
So I'll go for those.
And how about you, Z?
But for me, like, because obviously I'm not from Kerala, for me, something that is always top of my list whenever I'm craving or when I'm in a bad mood is like dosa, like a good dosa, a masala dosa or like Mysore masala dosa or like a rava dosa, things like that, like depending on where it is. And with dosa, 95% of the time, the dosas are good, like they don't get bad. Like, but the best
Do you prefer the crispy dosa or the floppy ones?
I prefer crispy.
Prefers them hard, not floppy.
I think by the end, like, I don't know, not by the end, but like a few episodes in, people will have like certain stereotypes about each and every one of us, and Rishi will be that pervert guy, like always thinking about sex.
I'll be the sleeping
Oddly,
guy.
I thought I would be the guy who would be the pervert, but then Rishi.
No, you're the player, you're the gamer.
You're the player, the gamer.
Oh.
You got
Nitin is just there. Nitin is just
Yeah,
out
I'm the
there.
sleeping
Okay?
He's out there.
I'm sorry. So you had dosa, and what was it here?
Man,
Man,
and
you
you.
wait, man.
I'm craving a good. No, I'm not craving a man. I'm
You're craving
craving
a
a
man?
You're craving.
a good chicken shawarma is a little hard to find here. like the UAE style ones.
But
A
over
good
there,
biryani.
there's no like a little, like you know how we have your little Asia and little India and all. So don't you have a little Arabia or something over there?
It's
Like
like
area.
800. It's 800 kilometers away, so I cannot drive all the way there. It's in Ottawa. In Ottawa, you have like a lot of Lebanese. Sorry, the most number of shawarma shops exists in Ottawa. In North America, exists in Ottawa. A good biryani, dude. Like you, it's very tough to find a very good biryani. There's only one place that I found that has been like truly very good.
Home?
Rest all places are like okay. No man, home, yeah.
No man home as in you wait. So you said no man.
This relationship is going
My
somewhere.
God.
He was craving for no man, and now he got his home.
Stop spreading rumors, okay?
Appa.
I'll my mom has your number, Sean. She knows where to find you.
Yeah, I will
So-
tell her that you said no to
Yeah,
biryani.
no
Thank
to
you for
biryani,
reminding me.
and he wants only no man's biryani.
Okay, wait. So, Z, you have said masala dosa, shawarma, and very good biryani.
Yeah.
Nitin, what about you?
My first choice is always kebabs and hummus. Then
That's a combination.
the combination. Then I like the sadhya, like I said in the beginning.
Mhm.
And then
Okay, wait. I
like-
want to ask you one thing. In Sadhya, which is the one thing you'll attack first?
Rice.
Sorry.
Rice. You don't tax the rice first, no.
No, I didn't. No, okay. Forget the
No,
tradition.
there's
You have to use the rice first.
there's a dish called Kalan.
What is it made of?
It is the yam, right? Elephant, like the yam.
Yeah.
It is similar to that actually.
Okay. Huh.
Maybe if I see the gravy, I'll know. But
Yeah.
every year I have this conversation with my mom whenever she makes Onam Sadhya. I'm like, the Onam Sadhya looks and would be amazing, but for me it feels incomplete if there's no fish fry piece in it. I mean, it's not in our culture, but I mean, if there's a fish fry piece, I love it.
I think some restaurants, not in Onam Sadhya obviously, but
No, actually, in some parts of Kerala itself, some people do have that fish fry thing. Some areas.
My brother-in-law's family, his side of the family, there they have chicken curry in the Sadhya.
Oh, okay.
oh, I think you should go there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have kebab hummus, you have Sadhya. What else do you have?
And then I like the chaat food.
Chaat. What in chaat?
Bhel puri and pav bhaji.
Oh yeah, pav bhaji. Yeah, that's underrated.
Pav Bhaji is like the only veg food I like.
Yeah, it's oddly underrated. I mean, you know,
Yeah,
when you say chaat, you never think of pav bhaji. You usually think of either bhel puri or pani puri.
Pani puri was a
Pani
thing.
puri, Not a fan of that pani puri thing.
That depends on that depends on which area you are and whose dirty hands you are drinking.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
And
Some
and
people
what
dirty
else
hands
is
are taste good.
Actually,
also-
here they wear the gloves while preparing it.
That's a taste, no?
That's a good dish for you, no?
Okay, how many of you, out of the three of you, how many of you have lived alone for a very long time, to the point where you have to cook for yourself?
Yeah,
So
I have-
Z is living alone. I was living alone for quite some time.
I
Nitin,
was
what
also
about you?
living alone till November.
Okay, and Nitin?
I'm living with family.
Okay, so the reason why I asked you this is because, so have you guys cooked?
Yeah.
No.
Terrible at
Z-
it, but yeah, cooked. Yeah.
So I cook, Z cooked, Rishi has cooked, and with cooking doesn't mean, okay. So again, I'm putting this criteria out there because people are I can't say any words here. So you people are going to say that I cooked omelette. Okay, wait, a good omelette counts. Coffee
Yeah, it
doesn't
does.
count.
A good omelette. See, cooking anything, I mean, basically, other than boiling water or making a coffee or something, anything else, it takes time and a little bit of skill.
Yeah.
Okay, so
good
what
chicken
is the
curry,
one?
dude.
Yeah. So what is the one? What would be your signature dish?
That's the
I-
thing with me. I never repeated my dishes. I always make something unique.
Same.
Okay.
I tried to make the same thing again and again, but it always
never
turned
comes.
out slightly different. Yeah.
It never comes the same.
But I think maybe last month I cooked one dish, and I think that could be my signature dish, which is made a nice honey garlic chicken, which only used four
Glazed?
ingredients.
Glazed.
Yeah, it was semi-glazed. It was basically only four ingredients. It was soya sauce, chicken, this one garlic, and this one little bit of honey. And if you want a little bit spice,
You
then
basically
add
said all the 4 ingredients in the name.
no, I didn't say soya sauce. That is honey garlic chicken. I didn't say soya
That's a secret.
sauce based honey garlic chicken.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes.
Okay, so that is. What is the dish paired with?
Rice,
So that's
which
like
you can buy
gravy
in the
rice.
supermarket. Yeah, it's gravy. It's proper. No, basically, we can't call it gravy because even in the recipe they call it a sauce. Because you're basically making the sauce of the soya sauce, honey, and garlic, and then you just dump it over chicken and keep on basting the chicken with the sauce. And then finally have it with rice.
Okay. Z, what about you?
Signature dish.
Accent.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't think I have one signature dish, but like my brother and I, when we cook, we try to make something that is a version of what my mom makes, chicken kalia, like something like that. So it's basically your chicken korma, but
Yeah, you explain this to me. Just it sounds really good. Just say what it is.
chicken kalia is basically just like chicken korma, but it's like a slightly different masala composition in terms of like what goes in. It's your same chicken and potatoes or just plain chicken curry. I don't know how to describe it, but the like you have basic 4 types of masalas that you would use, like coriander, haldi, and all the other stuff, right? Like turmeric powder, red chili powder, and whatnot. So it's just a little different. I don't know how to say, like different parts of that basically. Like some is more, some is less, but
Okay. The ratio.
and it the ratio is different, and it pairs with like a naan or like I like traditionally, like when you have chicken kalia from like a bhatiyar, like in India, like a proper like chef, right? Like those Indian chefs, it would be with rumali roti.
Oh,
I
love it.
Traditionally, yes, but over here you don't get rumali roti in the random store, so naan is the closest that comes with it.
Rumali roti reminded me of something. Have you guys tried katti roll?
Yeah.
Kati roll, yeah.
Oh,
Kati
katti
rolls.
roll. Katti roll. Oh, you should try it. Especially if you like kebabs, this is an amazing food try.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get it in any North Indian restaurant, especially Mumbai restaurants, you get it.
So for me, I make a mean shepherd's pie. I've been told I make good apple pie. And the thing that I made accidentally was with the cashew nut base cream, which Z was talking about. So onion, ginger, garlic, and cashew nut. You make it a paste, and you make it and tomato also. So you have sort of a creamy paste with added cream. Okay, so the gravy is a cashew nut based gravy, and it is added with chicken. So it's sort of like a version of chicken tikka and butter chicken all mixed together. So it's like a very
What
tastes
basically
good.
like a malai tikka, or is it like spicy, or is it like sweet, like mild, not very spicy?
Yes, you do have a base of sweetness in that, but you can get a little heat from it. So it's like you can't see exactly hot and sweet, but then yes, it is a little on spicy side, but enough sweetness is there in that. Chicken is there, and it goes pretty well with because it's creamy. It goes well with either naan or rice. Shepherd's pie, though, is one I'm pretty good at.
Wait, what were you describing before? Sorry, that curry. I'm actually wondering about the name because we joked around so much around it. I'm just.
It was an
wondering-
accident.
It was a
Telling me the
version
name
of chicken tikka. Yeah, it was a version of chicken tikka, but I ended up I think merging another recipe along with that. So then I ended up with a whole different version altogether.
Accidental
That like the accidental chicken.
Accidental child, yeah.
I
I
like
did
making
make-
steaks though. I like making some steaks. It's fun to
I
make steaks.
experimented with wine in
Yeah,
cooking.
last time also I remember I think your mother
I
had
was-
come over and she was asking about the wine, right?
Yeah. So I had cooked.
But then you had drank it all, and your mom was like, "What did I raise?"
a disappointment.
Yes, you said it, not me.
It was we basically end up reducing the wine into a sauce, like what Rishi was saying, how using the garlic honey sauce. So then you end up reducing the wine using the burnt stuff from the vegetables and the meat, and then you make it into a juice or a cream sauce sort of a thing, and that becomes the base of your curry, I think. Have any of you had paper dosa?
No.
One time I remember we went to Arab Udupi, like my mom was in India, and my brother, my dad, and I, we went to Arab Udupi, and we were like, because most of the times the gravies are a little mild, not very spicy. So we were like, let's try something spicy. And we made the biggest mistakes of our life. We ordered chicken angara. The name itself should tell you not to order it. And we ordered that thinking it'll be like, okay, tolerable spice, not very spicy. When it came, we couldn't even touch the gravy. We just left the gravy. We tried to have the chicken. That also we gave up because it was just so spicy. And next day our stomachs were gone. Like,
And the
khalas.
toilets.
The toilets were blood red.
Yeah, enough.
I just have one question though. What's the strangest, is there any animal you would never eat?
Yes.
Pig.
Like, other than, okay, that's for you. You're missing out on bacon though, but okay, it's understandable. Religious differences.
The wild animals, actually, like the lion, tiger, all those things.
I don't think you could eat it also if you tried.
One of my friend went to, I guess, Kenya or somewhere as for few days, and they have this kind of barbecue thing happening with all these wild
Yeah.
animals.
It's called a carnivore restaurant. I want to go there. I wasn't able to go when I went to Kenya.
With lions, they're already endangered and you're eating them?
It wasn't
What
lions,
Which?
so you get
Which?
crocodiles, you get
Yeah, you get all kind of
So when you're
wild
saying
street-
carnivore restaurant, as in you're eating carnivore, not that you're a carnivore.
no, you're the carnivore and you're eating a lot of meat. There's a lot of different animal meats there in the restaurant.
What meats are they available there?
Because you're talking about lions and alligator crocodiles, so they themselves are carnivores. So I'm asking that. So are you going there as a carnivore? Or are you going to eat carnivores? That's what I asked you.
If I'm not wrong, we get the croc meat in the Dubai as well, right?
But crocodile meat is not that rare. In fact, when I went to Thailand, it was there on the streets.
They serve that as on a stick or something, right? As on a skewer.
Yeah.
Z, you said pig because of the whole Islam thing, but what would you like to try? What meat would you like to try? Like for you,
Rabbit,
flip the question.
I guess. Like, I've heard rabbit meat is good. I don't know what it's called.
Rabbit meat.
Rabbit meat.
Rabbit meat.
I thought it's like a specific different term for it because venison is for deer, so I thought like rabbit meat had some other name.
Yeah, because you cannot say. I mean, like, how can you say I'm going to eat deer? Especially if you're married, you can't say I'm going to eat deer.
So in carnivore restaurant, you get beef, crocodile, ostrich, pork, lamb, rabbit, and spare ribs of pork.
Okay, so basically you are the carnivore. You're not
Yeah,
eating
you're the
carnivore. Z, for you, if we are flipping the question, for you it'll be you would like to eat rabbit meat.
Probably, yeah, because I've heard good things about it, but I've never tried it.
What about frog legs then? Because they say frog legs taste like chicken. But a lot of people have said this, that frog legs actually taste like chicken.
Okay,
Did you
so
know that there is a steak? I mean, some scientists are making steak out of human your own cells. Like I think
they'll culture the cells and they grow it.
yeah, they'll culture the cells from you, and then they'll make a steak out of it.
That's right, you're telling?
Which one?
Huh?
The lab grown one, right?
Yeah. So basically, you're self-sufficient. I mean, once you get the time frame, then once it starts making, you can make it consistently. Na?
Okay, wait.
It's
so
not a
then
child which it takes 9 months.
Okay, no, fine, fair enough. But here's my question for you though. But see, if you have eaten chicken once and you like the taste of chicken, so you end up making more chicken stuff, right? But if you have once taste, even if it's lab grown, but if you end up tasting your own or human meat, so you develop a taste for that. So do you, by definition, become a cannibal?
Basically, yeah, man. Eating cannibal is you eat human meat. It's not specified which human it has to be. Now,
So whether it's lab grown or not, either way.
yeah. I mean, now they have lab grown shrimps also because the shortage of shrimps in the world. They have started. They've started doing experiments and they're growing their own shrimp.
Wait, no, the question was not okay. So the question was for you. Your same question to you. What would you not eat?
I wouldn't eat dogs and cats and all that. I mean, you guys are going for wild animals. What about dogs? I have to keep my dog away from you now.
Okay, so you wouldn't go for domesticated animals.
I wouldn't
Oh,
go for
pets,
domestic.
pets.
Yeah, pets.
उसे
maybe.
जंगली बिल्लियाँ बहुत पसंद है.
Yes, I am Shah Rukh Khan from Dawn.
I don't know. I think I would stick to the normal meat. I would not try something. I wouldn't experiment with other meat I don't know about.
I was vegetarian for the longest time. FYI.
I don't think one day counts, man.
No, it was more like 9 years, 10 years.
Why were you veg for 9 and 10
Oh,
years?
why?
Which girl hurt you, man?
Dude, I saw one day like the slaughtering for like Eid, like this slaughter, na sacrifice.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
उसके
you
बाद
really
I
love that.
turned.
Okay, so here's one. Yeah, but
There
here's
was
one
a
thing.
phase,
See-
no, when I think till 2003 or something, they used to slaughter outside of buildings.
Which is what I'm saying. Z and I lived in a place where there was literally a butcher shop in the middle of our houses. As in, like, between Z's building and my building, there was a butcher shop there. There was a mosque right next to our house. So Z and I lived adjacent to each other in terms of buildings. So for Eid, right? So the goat is cut exactly in front of my house. And the way the goat runs and around, it was like I would, oh my god, mom, dad, and I, the three of us, stand in the balcony and watch it. And then I think that day, dad would go around and buy. So you could claim the meat beforehand as well. Like, I want this, piece of meat or whatever. So dad would get the good cut of meat and he would come and he would make the biryani. But like what Z said, like once you see it, for some time it's it traumatizes you to an extent, which makes you like forget it. But then when you smell mom's biryani, then you kind of pushes it out of your mind. Nitin, if you wanted to make one dish, if you wanted to try to cook, what would be the one dish that you would want to try to make?
Something with chicken.
Actually,
That's
Nitin,
very
why don't
specific.
yeah, but Nitin, why don't you start cooking now? Especially now that your mom at home, it's the best time for you to cook because I started cooking when my mom was at home, so that you can learn that time, and your mom will also tell you like what you're doing wrong. And I think that's one thing my sister regrets, that I was cooking when mom was around, and she started cooking when my mom went back to India, and she has to rely on video calls and all that. But the person is there, they can tell you what has to be done correctly.
The thing is that I
This is
find it
one-
really it's free time actually with all these client things and stuff going on.
That's like too much time.
But
and
actually, cooking is sort of like it takes a
Yeah.
it's sort of like a stress buster.
Mm.
Like if you're like like what you said, you want to make something in chicken, right? So you just like randomly go online and you check out like the easiest chicken recipes. So it's nothing. Literally, just put chicken into a bowl, put yogurt, lemon, and your turmeric and chili powder and like whatever you put into that. Mix it well, and then put it in the fridge. And just make sure that whatever happens, that you don't fall asleep while it's marinating.
no, but only again the honey garlic chicken recipe which I made. Barring the 30 minutes of marination, you can get the dish done within 15 minutes. Don't even take your time.
Especially because you're in the healthy, you want healthy food, right? This is like the best thing you can do. Just like put it in for marination. You just put it like Rishi saying half an hour, right? Like that's the minimum you have to put. You can put it like as good as overnight. Like today
Yeah,
night you
because
put
the
it,
more time
tomorrow
you take,
morning,
the more flavor the chicken will absorb.
and it becomes more tender also. So it's easier for the cook, and the oil is also you don't have to cook in extra oil also. It's like the thing is, so for me, what happened was I started cooking when mom was not around. So sort of like a need of the hour kind of situation. And because of that, what has happened is I have burned so much of food. I have overcooked so much of food, and I have put too much of salt or too less salt in so much of food that now I know by the smell of the food if it's getting cooked enough, if the salt is enough, if the masala is enough, or if the masala is too much. Because of the mistakes that I made when I was cooking on my own, I now realize. So to a point that mom now comes and says that she calls me a dog because I sit in my room and she's cooking in the kitchen. I can get the smell, so I know if the salt is less or the salt is more. I go and tell her that. So then she's able to come and check and see.
This my friend told me that there's a shop in Bangalore which was very famous for selling cutlets, and he used to buy cutlets like every day. He used to go after college. He used to buy these cutlets, eat like 4 5 of them, and keep some for the next day for breakfast. And everywhere people used to come to buy cutlets, and they used to go. One day, what happened? He was passing by from college when he was going. He saw that the shop was closed, and there were cops outside. So he was like, "What happened?" And he just went to
I think
the.
I know the story. I think I know the story.
I think I told you the story. No,
No, because I was in Bangalore for quite some time. That's why.
maybe that's why you know the story. But so he goes to the cops, and he's like, "What happened?" So he's like, "Yeah, this guy is arrested. We're arresting this guy. We closed down the shop because he's saying it's chicken, but it's actually cat. Apparently, cat meat and chicken meat are pretty similar in consistency."
Oh my god.
And as soon as the guy heard, he started puking because he was eating the cutlet at that time. So I told him, but how can you arrest the guy? He was selling catlets, not cutlets.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's in India. You
Not sure
go
what
through-
is the bun or the fact that it was a catlet.
but you'll never know. No, your minced meat, you never know.
That's why even the chefs also who are there, right? They don't buy or they don't suggest to buy ready-made minced meat. They ask you to buy a good meat and then you mince it at home. Extra work, but at least you know what you mince it. Especially for burgers. Except for the top three that you guys mentioned, which would want to which you like. Except for those three, and obviously the food that you have part of the table, which food would you recommend for the listeners? Let's put everything back on the table. You have all your comfort food that you guys mentioned. Everything's on back on the table. So, which food would you want the listeners to? Which would you recommend?
To try if they have not tried for any, like I would say,
Yeah.
try mandi man, Yemeni mandi.
What is it?
It's basically like steamed rice. It's basically similar concept how you have undia, like cooking underground, but it's with like meats and rice and stuff like that. So I would say a good mandi. It has minimal masala, right? It's more the actual taste of the lamb or chicken, whatever you prefer. Yeah, and it's pretty good actually. It might be slightly oily, but depends on who's cooking it. It's like more like rendered fat rather than oil.
And but one best part about the mandi is how soft the meat is. How easily it just falls off the bone. I would suggest, actually, this is one thing I suggest to a lot of my friends who live in US and all, who don't know Indian food, who think Indian food is just basically curry and chicken tikka masala. There's a lot of different
Which
things.
oddly is not Indian food.
Yeah, chicken tikka masala is not. It was brought from the UK.
Yeah, it's UK. It's actually one of the staples of the UK.
It's
Yeah.
national dish of UK, man.
Yeah, national dish of UK.
But I mean, I would say just try and go for the regional Indian stuff. I mean, or even shawarmas to an extent. Whoever's abroad, just try different food. Even when you go to another country, try the local food. There's no use of going to a different country and just having the fast food or your own food over there. Meaning, as I said, when we went to Paris and we had Indian food, and it turned out to be the worst ever butter chicken ever. I mean, what's the use of going to Paris and having Indian food?
That just reminds me, like my relatives went to Paris and they ran into like some South Indian guy, and they're like, and that guy was like, if you guys want to have like masala dosa or like South Indian snacks, this is my shop. Come here, pay a visit over there.
You don't run into South Indians anywhere. They exist.
Yeah, they exist. You go to the moon also, there is. You go to Mars right now, there
There
is
was
a
a
Malayali
joke,
guy.
There's a joke where when Neil Armstrong first stepped onto the moon, he found a Kerala Tattakada.
Yeah, Chandran Sattakada.
Right. So Rishi, one dish that you would suggest.
Okay, if you want to try Indian food, then go for the try to go for the Kerala parota and beef. That is a bit on the spicy side. If you want to go for Arabic food, then shawarmas, but make sure it's made authentically, not with the how they make in Bombay with the weird vegetables and all that. I mean, you put beetroot
Yeah,
and
cabbage.
carrot. Carrots too, dude. How do you put carrots in all of that in the shawarma?
Mm.
I mean, you say that because you've never like, well, you've seen the original thing. You've seen the
That's
real
it.
thing.
That's what I'm saying.
So
We
yeah,
have
so
to
I
go with
tell
the
them don't
authentic
put
stuff.
those things.
I think I've shared this story before.
But even then, the bread is wrong. In
It's
Mumbai,
pita
you
bread.
have,
Yeah, it's pita bread.
yeah, it's not even a pita bread. It's some other bread they use. I mean, the place where I
Pita bread.
had, maybe it was in the pita, but yeah.
No, the first time even when I bought shawarma over here, right? Like I was shocked when the guy asked, "Okay, do you want this? Like, do you want shredded cabbage? Do you want like cucumber? Do you want this? Do you
Yeah,
want
yeah,
that?"
yeah.
That's not what goes in. Just give me with onions and pickle. That's it.
I mean, why do you have pickled onions also? I mean, a shawarma is simple. You
This
have your
is good
bread,
actually.
you have your sauce, the tahina sauce, chicken, potatoes, and if you like a pickle, put the pickle.
Mm.
But I prefer the spicy one. Though. Yeah, you should get those, right? Those I think those one in the soaked in the vinegar or something.
Cost cutting, many restaurants don't do that here.
Mm. But you should get the free cucumber, beetroot, and I think it was carrot.
Radish.
Yeah, yeah, hot shot. Yeah, hot shot. You should like get them in vinegar and cook it spicy sauce.
Dude, that spicy shawarma from Al Farouj, man. I still remember, but Al Farouj is like done in Abu Dhabi. I don't know about other places, but Abu
It's
Dhabi
there in
business
Dubai,
shop.
but it's yeah, Abu Dhabi it's gone. I mean, but do you remember there was a time where you should get shawarma for like $3? A good,
Yeah.
nice. Hmm? Three, it went to
250 and
350
spicy for
bucks.
3.
Yeah, I mean, it changed, and now what's the price? Now it's like $8 or $9.
I started eating shawarma when it was like five
Same.
bucks for one. Yeah.
Yeah, I started when I was what 11 or 12. No, I think later than
16
that. I
or
think
7.
14 or 15 maybe.
Okay, Nathan, what about you? What's the one dish that you would recommend to your listeners?
If they haven't tried this, then I would suggest them to have the Punjabi thali.
Why is only after thali full day? From the start of
He's
the
just
episode, you have
saying-
the Kerala thali and now.
Dude, he's just craving those stuff because he's not had all the unhealthy stuff in a long time.
If I were to suggest a dish, it would be there's this fried prawns that is specifically made for the Malwan dish.
Yeah.
So
There's only
it,
one thing on your mind.
I know.
it is,
I think
I love that.
I think you're in
And-
love with the owner's daughter or something. Like again and again, Malwan.
No,
Sali.
but if you would actually try it, I think you guys would like it because it's very.
Like him?
Okay, so you know how the KFC the crust is there, the batter that is there. Just think of it that way, but more seasoned and a little bit more spicy and obviously seafoody and salty stuff, salty version of it on a prawn. It's very good. So yeah, I would suggest the prawns. I don't know the name of it properly, but it's fried prawn paste, Malwan style. So that was our impromptu topic of food, because we started off with a decision of taking one particular topic and we somehow landed upon food. I think because we were all hungry.
Why is
Some
Nathan
people-
crying?
he's stuck over there. The thali.
So, guys, that was our brief discussion on food in general. We reminisced a bit of what we liked growing up, comfort foods, something that we've seen as part of like our region-specific cuisine, things like that. So, in parting words, I guess, guys, do you have anything specific? I know it's pretty late, but. Anything interesting you would like to share or have any parting words related to food and stuff like that? I know the general message we all will give will be like try stuff outside of your comfort zone. If you're lucky enough to stay near a restaurant or in your city, there's like restaurants that serve different cuisine of different areas from your country or other countries. Probably give that a try. But other than that, what do you have in terms of suggestions?
I would say just keep an open mind again, which you said, but keep an open mind regarding the food. Like, you have your Filipino food also, which people say it's very sweet, and everyone, as usually you're saying, people think that Indian food is spicy, but Gujarati food is sweet. So,
Mhm.
regardless of what it is, just try it. You don't know what you could like. I mean, 7 years back, I never used to like cheesecakes, but Now I love cheesecakes. I think more over time your tastes also change, and uh, you don't know what you didn't like before you like now. So just try different foods.
It's more about the experience rather than exact taste, sensations, or things like that.
Unless you're gonna try octopus
I have tried octopus.
live,
Oh,
or
odd.
did you swallow the entire thing like with on the chopstick?
No, so Jolan and I had gone to this restaurant which was called Ola Brazil. So they gave us baby octopuses
Hmm.
in a skewer. So
Okay.
it was basically like could say this much size, and you can just swallow it on the whole. It was just basically slimy, and it was a bit crunchy because they fried it in such a way. It was a bit deep fried.
Oddly enough, even I've had octopus.
By
I think
accident or
No. I went to a restaurant as an appetizer. That was one of the items that my friends ordered here. And I was like, okay, let's just give it a try. And I was like, okay, you guys can finish whatever portion you were gonna give me.
no, but if you had
what does it
squids,
taste like?
I mean
Huh?
squids. Have you had squids? Squids. is a
Sorry,
bit
squid, not octopus. Squid.
Okay.
Squid. I had squid.
But squid tastes like potato chips, man. Doesn't even taste like a.
There was
Doesn't
like a
taste like-
very fishy taste to it. There was like a
I-
fishy taste to
Are
it.
you saying this
I don't
is
know.
fishy about it?
That was a PJ, but I'll acknowledge it.
No, but for me, squid when you have it tastes more like potato chips. It's not exactly like it doesn't have that much of a fishy taste.
Okay. Okay.
But-
Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, based on the preparation also.
Yeah, it depends on the prep. Maybe that their version was a bit more fishy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nitin, any parting words?
I would like our listeners to comment down what is their favorite food and what suggestions they can give to us. What we can try.
Yeah, we should try some.
Yeah.
Is there any way, Sean, where they can communicate to us though? I mean, other than
Yeah,
other than the Instagram DMs which I constantly get from our listeners.
Yeah, I mean, actually on the website you will be coming up with a comment section, so that will be coming up in some time once I understand how to put the comment section in. But apart from that, once YouTube channels are coming up, I think you guys can comment over there. If you want to really communicate with us, you can send us an email on Langford's Excellence. Langford.excellence@gmail.com. That's LANGFORD.excellence, EXCELLENCE
Now we know.
Yes, I spelled it correctly. Actually, I took
Yeah, I
time.
know,
I
I
took
know.
time to see. She's like, is the spelling correct?
I'm like, it's too
No,
late
no,
in the night to think over the spelling also. I'm like, is it right? Is it wrong? I'm like, okay, if it's wrong, then the email would come. Maybe that's why we're not getting enough feedback. He's giving us wrong
Yes.
email.
It's slackford.excellence@gmail.com. You can send us your comments over there if you are interested, or else you could obviously wait for the YouTube videos to drop, which is going to take time. Once you hit 10
Or you
videos,
could just message in Nitin's videos in Nitin Nation.
After
no,
you
wait,
search for them.
After
wait,
you
wait,
search for them.
yeah, so we need to have the obligatory plugin for Nitin's channel. So Nitin, what's your channel?
It is all about like games, game reviews, and gameplays. And name of the channel is Nith Nation.
So where do we find Nitin Nation?
The link will be in the description.
Alright, so then we are done for today. This has been what's for today, and wrapping up with this one statement from everybody. Going, I think in unison, we're going to think of the same thing, which is please take care of yourself, sanitize yourself. If you're going for the vaccination, please make sure that you are taking care of yourself after the vaccination as well. Make sure that you are asking the doctor what should be done, what should not be done after taking the vaccinations. If you're having a second dose to be taken, please make sure you're taking it on time, and also make sure that you are staying healthy for the people around you and for the people who love and care for you. So yeah, take care and have a nice day, have a nice weekend. If it's a weekend you're listening on, but have a nice day. Bye bye. This has been What's for Today.